How I secured Kokoro 65. Navy SEAL training for civilians modeled after Hell Week. Man, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. And how did I prepare? Well, it was kind of a bucket list thing because, I always wanted to join the military, and it was one of those regrets that I didn't do it, especially after 9/11. It was something that I was contemplating going after high school, and it was just kind of something, unfinished business I needed to take care of. The work that you go through is basically called the beatdown. A lot of them are called the evolutions of the beatdowns. You prepare, and so I prepared like crazy. I probably worked out and trained 46 hours a day, but we're talking about hardcore, intense training, put my body through a lot. Not only that physically, but mentally. I mentally prepared, understood Commander Mark Devine, the founder of SEAL Fit, his philosophy, and the 4 pillars of mental toughness really carried me through in my prep work. This is what the Navy SEALs live by. It's breath work, breath control. You use the breath to calm yourself down. The second piece of that is positive attitude. You really need to be positive and not negative in the moment, especially when that chaos is taking over your mind. You have to calm down. Number 3, visualization. Visualize yourself in the moment, getting through it. Visualize yourself going through the evolution. Visualize yourself. And number 4 was micro goals. Never quit in the moment of an evolution. Get through the evolution. The evolution is going to end. You're going to get through it. As much as it sucks at the time, you're going to move past it. So just know that the end is coming and you're going to get a break. I call it gamifying. Get to the next thing. Get to the next exercise. Get to the next command. But the most important factor, and the reason that my teammates succeeded, the ones that secured, was the foo factor, focusing on others. The ones that made it through were givers. They helped. When you start to work with your teammates, when you start to help your teammates, the people that didn't make it through, and there's a 50% fail rate, the folks that don't make it through are ones that don't help others. They don't give of themselves. They focus on themselves only. They grandstand. As much as you can come back to that, center yourself and say, you know what, I need to give. And I found myself thinking I was needing to reserve my own energy and not give. And, you have to snap out of it. So the foo factor was the most important thing for securing Kokoro 65. The big why for me was, modeling for the kids that, we can do hard things. Another why was Kameron ended up joining me. And there was no way I was going to ever quit before my 50 hours because he was there for me at the end, and he came to pick me up, and I wanted to make sure I secured. I wrote a book on overcoming adversity. I wanted to make sure that, I put my money where my mouth was. Dark moments, times of uncertainty, doubt, that's what that's your positive attitude, that's your visualization. You need to tap into your whys to get through really hard things.